Washington State football program has never been afraid to search far and wide for its recruits. So maybe it's fitting that one of its greatest finds, arguably its greatest, came from a small town in northern Saskatchewan, where a film of Rueben Mays found its way from North Battleford to Pullman, Washington.
And it was probably filmed from the back of a pickup truck because it was the worst film you've ever seen. But the only good thing about it was every time we saw him handle the ball, he'd run however far he had to go for a touchdown, he'd run it.
It was an unlikely spot to find a future star, but the Cougs couldn't help but follow up. Prolific track athlete, Mays had a special speed, a focus for football, and the intangibles any coach would covet.
He fit the description not only physically, but mentally. He was sharp as a tack and just a delightful young man.
I had serious intention. I had growing up, when I was 12, I wanted to play in the NFL and I wanted to play big-time football in the United States. And so I came to Pullman with the intention that I'm going to do whatever it takes to be the best.
Pitch to Mays. Touchdown, Washington State.
Washington State made Mays his only Division I scholarship offer. He came to campus determined to erase any doubt that he belonged.
My mom dropped me off in the stadium. It was on a Saturday, and then the Sunday I was there by myself. I remember sitting in the stadium saying, what am I done? I'm here, you know, is this gonna work for me? And I was pretty scared, actually. And I've been told that by my entire country in Canada that I'm not gonna make it and I'm gonna get lost in the shuffle. And I remember reflecting on that. It was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, you know, I'm here and I'm going for it. I don't give a, you know, whatever. I just worked my butt off and did whatever it took. And I just was very focused.
Any questions about how his talent might translate to the Pac-10 were quickly cleared up, and by the time he was a junior, he had blossomed into a top 10 Heisman finalist.
And Mays goes 53 yards all the way.
He rushed for more than 1,600 yards that season. 216 of them came against Stanford.
And from Autzen Stadium here in Eugene, Oregon, it's the Cougars of Washington State against the Oregon Ducks.
But on an October afternoon in Eugene was even more memorable when Rueben set the NCAA single game record rushing for 357 yards against the Ducks.
It was a kind of a rainy day, and we weren't able to pass the football very much because it was raining and it just wasn't working. And for some reason, their linebackers were playing off the ball. And so we'd run the draw, and I would be getting 10, 12, 5, 15, 18, and then break a couple long ones. And they never seemed to have gotten that.
That was right. The 50, 45 of the 40, Rueben Mays over 300 yards on the afternoon.
The last quarter, the last 2 times we had the ball, every time we'd snap the ball, you could hear the fans, and they're all going, "Watch the draw!" And if you've ever heard 40,000 people say the word "draw" together, it is the most eerie thing because it's got this weird sound. Whoa! You know that you didn't know, but. And then the coach from Oregon was mad as hell because Dick Brooks was his name, and he said my fans knew more what was coming, but my players couldn't stop it. And so he rushes for 350 yards on almost literally the same play.
Mays followed his memorable junior season with another one his senior year. In 1985, he finished his 4 years the Cougars' all-time leading rusher, leaving Pullman with more than 3,500 yards and 2 Pac-10 Offensive Player of the Year awards. His college career paved the way for his childhood dream to finally be fulfilled. In 1986, the New Orleans Saints drafted him in the 3rd round, where he beat higher profile athletes with his perseverance and grit.
I was brought in with a number of players, a new coaching staff, and Dalton Hilliard was also running back, drafted in the 2nd round. I remember they asked me when I got there, you know, you're from the Pac-10, right? And we got Dalton Hilliard from the SEC, and what are you gonna do? And I said, well, I'm gonna start here. You know, I'm playing.
Mays rushed for more than 1,300 yards his first season. He was the NFL Rookie of the Year and an All-Pro, too. An amazing start to a pro career that eventually spanned 5 seasons in New Orleans and 2 more in Seattle.
That was the epitome of my athletic career, was always kind of on the edge, but, you know, working through it and persevering.
Recently, Rueben became a U.S. citizen, and today he still lives in the inland Northwest. He is more than 800 miles from where he was born, but humbled to be honored by the place he considers home.
This is where I live, and this is where I work, and this is where I've raised my family and been married to my wife, for over almost 30 years now. That, to me, means a lot. And so to be named to this Hall of Fame is a really great honor for me.
For the touchdown, and Rueben Mays.
There is no Hall of Fame that wouldn't be better for having Rueben Mays in it. He did bring great things to this Inland Empire. Rueben Mays brought attention here, he brought dignity here, he brought all the things that you want a young person in college presenting and representing your area to do.